Dear students, welcome back to the online sessions on analog electronic circuits. In today's session, what we do is we'll try to have a recap of all the topics that we have completed in the fourth unit, that is power amplifiers. That means the summary of all the power amplifiers, basic features. And then to start with the problems, before we start problems, one more variety we're going to have is called as push-pull type of the class A power amplifier. Class A we have seen without transformer coupling, with transformer coupling, and one more variety is going to be like a push-pull transformer coupled amplifier. If you use transformer coupled amplifier, we're getting an efficiency maximum of only 50%. To increase more than that, we can use push-pull type of the class A power amplifier to increase the efficiency of the amplifier circuit. Okay. So the only drawback is that transformers are going to be more in the case of the push-pull type of the amplifier. If transformers are going to increase, the weight of the system is going to increase and cost of the system is also going to increase. That means if you want to, if we really want to have a more efficiency in class A type of power amplifier, we have to go with the push-pull type of class A power amplifier. So all those things we'll see in today's session. From next session, in the next session, we do problems on the power amplifiers. Okay. So let us go with the overview or summary of the various power amplifiers that we have. Okay. What we have seen in the previous sessions in power amplifiers is the basic block diagram and then the exact power stage. That means power amplifier stage, what we're doing. That means the basic power amplifier block diagram consists of the microphone. Microphone is the one which is going to convert acoustic signals into the electrical signals. These electrical signals are applied to the pre-amplifier circuit because the electrical signals what we have got after converting from acoustic to electrical is not sufficient enough to drive the voltage amplifiers in the following block diagrams. Therefore, here we have to simply increase the voltage levels and current levels such that it can be really amplified by the voltage amplifier, and this waveform also has to be compulsorily smoothened so that that waveform can be applied to the voltage amplifiers. That means in order to increase the signal level for a voltage amplifier to amplify and to smoothen the input signal, we normally going to use the pre-amplifier circuits. Then this is applied to the chain of the voltage amplifier stages, which increases the voltage level. And then it is applied to the tone and volume controls of the signal. Then this is applied to the power amplifiers. Now we discuss these power amplifiers as class A, class B, class AB, class D type of the power amplifiers. In class A we have seen two different types. One is going to be class A amplifier without transformer coupling. Another one is class A amplifier with transformer coupling. Okay, then class B power amplifier we have seen class B power amplifier, and class B by name itself is called as a push-pull type of the power amplifier. So we have seen, we have studied this as class B push-pull type of power amplifier, and complementary symmetry class B power amplifier circuit. Okay, this is the part we have seen in the class B type of power amplifiers, and class AB is an extension or upgradation of the class B push-pull power amplifier known as class AB type of the power amplifier. In class AB, what we're doing, we are simply applying some bias voltage to the input of the two transistors so that the input of the transistors are going to get clamped to 0.7 volts, by which the two transistors initially will be in the on condition. So due to this initially on condition of the two transistors, the crossover distortion is simply been avoided in the case of the class AB type of the power amplifiers. And class D type of the power amplifier is not actually used in the audio amplifiers. It is normally meant for the controlling signals in the industry. That means if at all you want to control the servo motors, you want to control the tachometers, right? You by using PWM signals, we normally use the class D type of the power amplifiers. That means it is normally used for digital audio systems, because we need to process the digital signals, which is going to comprise of 0 and 1 values. So therefore, that class D is actually meant for the digital processing circuits, not for the analog circuits. Whereas if at all you wanted to connect the output of the power amplifier to the loudspeaker, we'll be using class A, class B, and class AB type of the power amplifiers. Okay. And of course, output is connected to the loudspeaker in general. Now, this is what we have seen in the previous sessions. Let us try to compare the various amplifiers with certain differences. Okay. So the differences is going to be like the operating cycle or firing angle. So the first difference lies based on the firing angle of the amplifier circuit. Second one, position of the Q point on the load line. Third is efficiency of the amplifier. Fourth one is distortion of the amplifier. Fifth one is normally power dissipation in the transistors. And the sixth one is nature of the output current waveforms. And finally, the applications of the various types of the amplifier circuits. Now, most importantly, the first one is the amplifiers are classified based on the firing angle. That is a very important task. That means class A firing angle is 360 degrees. Class B 180 degrees. Class AB we have seen lies between 180 and 360, and it is close to the 180 degrees. Class D is not a factor. That means the firing angle is not a factor in the case of the class D type of the power amplifier circuits. Okay. So therefore, now what is the meaning of firing angle that we discussed earlier? The meaning of firing angle is that the output collector current is normally going to flow through 360 degrees of the input signal in the case of the class A. That means for the entire input cycle of the if the transistor is normally going to have a current flow in its output terminals, then it is going to be called as a 360 degrees firing angle. If firing angle is 180 degrees, what does it mean? The transistor will be conducting only for 180 degrees of the input cycle. That means 0 to 180 degrees. This is 0 to 360 degrees. That means if the circuit is normally going to allow the current for 180 degrees of the input cycle, then it is called as a class B type of the power amplifier. Similarly, class AB firing angle is normally comprising of 180 degrees to 360 degrees. And in the case of class D, we don't even consider the firing angle. Why? Because it is normally meant for digital audio systems. So therefore, the firing angle is not a deciding parameter for its classification. Okay, because it is normally used for the digital inputs, not for the analog type of the inputs. Therefore, firing angle is not going to be an issue over here. So usually we normally going to process the PWM signals, pulse width modulated signals, in order to control certain parameters in the industry, for industry at the time of manufacturing of the products. So this is what the first one, that is called operating cycle or a firing angle of the system. Now, in short, we call it as a firing angle. So if you say firing angle is 360 degrees, what we are actually saying, we are saying that the transistor used in class A is normally going to allow the current for all the 360 degrees of the input signal. That is the definition of firing angle of 360 degrees. So instead of saying all this, we simply say firing angle 360 degrees. Similarly, firing angle is 180 means what? It is understood that the transistor used in the amplifier circuit is normally going to allow only 0 to 180 degrees of the input phase. That is called the firing angle called as 180 degrees. It doesn't mean that it fires at 180 and simply going to be in the off condition for the entire phase of the input cycle. No, it is not like that. It is something like the firing angle is 360 degrees means what? It is with respect to the current which is continuously flowing at the output of the transistor circuit with respect to the input phase of the input signal of input phase of the signal. So that is what we normally mean by saying this. Okay. The next one is the position of the Q point on the load line, also really going to matter. This 360-degree firing angle is going to be true only when the Q point is at the center of the active region. If you consider these two or the X and Y axis of the output side, if the Q point is at the center of the load line, then we say that it is the firing angle is 360 degrees. In order to get firing angle of 180 degrees, what we should have? The Q point should compulsorily lie on the zero axis. That means only above zero, only signal is normally being transmitted. Below zero, it is in the cutoff condition. So no signal transmits. Now, if you come to the class AB type of the power amplifier, see the Q point is just above the zero line. That means it is not close to 360 degrees. It should be close to 180 degrees. Even though we say the firing angle lies between 180 to 360 degrees, but it is more close to 180 degrees, not to the 360 degrees. That means the Q point should be more close to the zero axis line. Then next, of course, class D, firing angle is not a matter in the class D. So therefore, no period during the cycle is considered. Next important point is the efficiency. Class A power amplifier efficiency will be ranging between 25% to 50%. If it is going to be without transformer coupling, maximum efficiency 25%. If it is with transformer coupling, it is 50% maximum efficiency. So even 50% maximum efficiency is not considered practically. If at all we want to use an amplifier in the practical circuits, the efficiency should be compulsorily more than or greater than 50%. So therefore, the class A, even though we go with the transformer couple, is not suitable for the practical applications. It is only used for theoretical purpose. That is the reason why, if at all still you want to use class A only and achieve more efficiency, then we have to go with class A push-pull type of the power amplifier circuit. So in class A, what is the firing angle? 360 degrees. That is the one we have to keep in our mind before we normally go with this. Okay. Then coming to the class B type of the power amplifier, class B comes like a push-pull class B power amplifier. So therefore, the efficiency is 78.5%. It is much more better than the class A type of the power amplifier. Therefore, class B power amplifier is more suitable for the radio circuits. Is more practical application. Nowadays, we are using this in the radio circuits. And coming to class AB type, it is higher than class A and less than class B type of the power amplifier. That means the efficiency lies between 50 to 78.5%. In the case of firing angle, if you see, the firing angle lies between 180 and 360 degrees. That means the firing angle, the firing angle lies between the firing angle of class A and class B. And efficiency also going to lie in between the efficiencies of class A and class B type of the power amplifiers. And next one is the efficiency of class D is 100%. Okay, so because the entire signal has to be transmitted very, very effectively. So therefore 100% is the efficiency in the case of the class D type of the power amplifier circuits. Now coming to distortion. What is the distortion we mean over here? The distortion is nothing but the change in the shape of the output waveform from the input waveform or with respect to the input waveform. If input waveform is a complete AC signal, output should be the same complete AC signal. If it is so, we say that there is no distortion. So therefore here distortion is absent, no distortion present in the class A type of the power amplifier. If you apply complete AC, we get a complete AC at the output. Let us come to the class B type of power amplifier. In class B, distortion is present, which is definitely more than class A type of the power amplifier. That means if you apply 0 to 360 degrees phase of the signal, what is the output we get? We get output only from 0 to 180 degrees only. Okay, that means only half of the signal we are going to get. That means there is a distortion present in the class B type of the power amplifier. Class AB is simply a modification of class B, so definitely distortion present in the class AB type of the power amplifier circuits. Then class D also distortion present. So as the distortion is there, next is going to be the power dissipation in the transistors. The power dissipation is going to be high in the case of class A type of the power amplifier. Now, how can we say power dissipation is high? The transistor will be operating for the entire 360 degrees of the input signal. That means while the transistor is going to operate, then definitely there is going to be a power dissipation through the transistor because of excessive heat. Therefore, we say that the power dissipation is going to be high in the case of the class A power amplifier because of its firing angle. Since firing angle is 180 degrees, the dissipation is definitely going to be very high in the case of class A type of the power amplifier. Coming to class B, the power dissipation is going to be low. Why it is low? Because the amplifier or a transistor circuit is going to be in the on condition for only 180 degrees of the input phase. Rest of the 180, the transistor is not going to transmit the current. That means it will be in the off condition. Obviously, the transistor is not totally in the on condition. Therefore, distortion is definitely going to be low in the case of the class B type of the power amplifier circuit. Okay. And at the output stage of the class B push-pull power amplifier, because of transformer, center type transformer coupling, the surge current or leakage current, whichever is coming, is simply going to get cancelled out at the secondary transformer stage of the amplifier, so that the distortion is also going to get cancelled out. And hence we say the class B power amplifier is going to provide us the low distortion. Class AB lies between A and B, no? So therefore, it is going to be somewhat more than the class B type of the power amplifier. Therefore, we can call it as a moderate. Now, in the case of class D type of power amplifier, we prefer usually in the IC manufacturing sector, MOSFET transistors, metal oxide, semiconductor, field effect transistors are very much preferred because we want very fast switching. To have a very fast switching, MOSFETs are more suitable than the BJT type of the transistors, because BJTs are going to operate at milliamperes range, MOSFETs are going to operate at microamperes range and sometimes nanoamperes range. Therefore, the switching speed is also going to be more in the case of the MOSFETs. So based on the switching frequency governed by the power proportional to CV square, F is the formula using which the power dissipation is normally going to proportional to these three factors. So where V is nothing but the peak output voltage and F is nothing but the frequency of the input signal. So if the frequency is going to be small, then the power dissipation is going to be small. If the peak to peak voltage is going to be small, power dissipation is going to be small in the case of the MOSFET transistors. Okay. Now what about the nature of the output current waveform? See how that means this is what the differences we have based on the firing angle. How can we say the firing angle 360 degrees? It is due to this reason what we are going to explain, nature of the output current. Due to the nature of the output current waveform, we speak about the firing angle. That means if the output current is flowing for the entire 360 degrees of the input signal, we say that the firing angle is 360 degrees. Therefore, the complete waveform of the input is simply being transmitted to the transistor circuit. Then coming to class B, only 180 degrees of the input signal is transmitted. Other part is not transmitted. Only 180 is transmitted. Other part is not transmitted. So therefore, this is because of this, we say the firing angle is 180 degrees. So we should speak firing angle with respect to only one transistor. Push-pull is an arrangement that we have made, but it doesn't mean that class B name has been given because of two transistors together. The name has been given only because of the single transistor firing angle. So therefore, since the firing angle is only 180 degrees, we call it as a class B type of power amplifier. Coming to class AB, firing angle lies between these two, class A and class B. That means there will be some signal after zero crossing also. This is what we're going to observe in class AB type of power amplifier. And class D, it is simply going to be a pulse width modulated signal. If you observe this carefully, the width of the pulse, see the width of the pulse, here it is somewhat short, here it is more. Width means what? When the pulse is going high and remains in the high condition. So this time period, whenever there is a pulse, see, compare these two time periods, they are different. And this time period is different with these two. That means there is a change in the width of the pulse. Therefore, it comes under pulse width modulated signal. Modulation is known as a change in general. So if you observe a change in the width of the pulse of the input signal, we say it is known as the pulse width modulated signal. Coming to the applications, it is used in the audio amplifier circuits by hobbyists, where the low power level will be there in the case of the class A type, because efficiency is low. Since efficiency is low, definitely output power is going to be low. So if at all you will be happy with getting low powers, you can just simply go with the class A type of the power amplifier. If at all we are going to manage or not having any problems with the distortion, with the not distortion, with the power dissipations. If you don't have a problem with power dissipation, if you don't have a problem with the audio signal range, audio signal voltage, then you can go with the class A type of the power amplifiers. So class B is going to have high efficiency, is going to have less power dissipation. Therefore, class B is preferred in the radio circuits, FM radio circuits. We prefer class B type of the power amplifier circuits. So nowadays, whatever FM radios that we have are normally going to comprising of the class B type of the power amplifier circuits. The next one is class AB, used in FM broadcasting and satellite communication equipments. So class AB also going to provide reasonably good efficiency. Therefore, we prefer this in FM broadcasting transmitters and satellite communications. We prefer the class B type of the power amplifiers. And application of class D, as I said, it is normally used at industry. So therefore, normally used at industry to control the actuators like servo motors and DC motors or tacho motors. So prefer to amplify the PWM signals, normally used in the digital audio player circuits. So this is what regarding the comparison of various types of the power amplifiers that we have in the syllabus. Okay. Then as a last topic, we can just cover with one more variety in the case of class A type of the power amplifier is going to be class A push-pull power amplifier stage. We'll discuss that in a while now. Now, this is the circuit diagram that we can say is for the class A push-pull type of power amplifier. We have seen class B push-pull, and this is another variety in push-pull, that is class A push-pull. We can have class AB push-pull as well. Okay, class AB anyway coming as push-pull. That means by its very construction, by the nature of its construction, class AB is coming as if like a push-pull type only. Nothing great in saying it like a push-pull class AB power amplifier. But coming to class A, yes, you have to say it as a class A push-pull power amplifier, because we have two other varieties of class A called as class A without transformer coupling, class A with transformer coupling. So this is something like a special one in the class A type of the power amplifier called as push pull. When you say push pull, you have to use two transistors. Okay, because when in one condition, transistor one will be pushed into on. At the same time, other transistor will be pulled into off. For a alternate cycle, other transistor will be pulled into on, pushed into on condition, and other transistor will be simply pulled into off condition. Pulled means what? Making it down. Push means what? Making it up. Okay, that we already know that. So just because of that reason, we simply call it as a push-pull type of the power amplifier. Now, the same circuit diagram I can draw for the class B push-pull type. If I remove these biasing resistors, R1, R2, if I remove, the same circuit is simply called as a class B push-pull type of the power amplifier circuit. That means just because of this biasing circuits, we simply call this as class A push-pull type of the power amplifier. Okay. Now we can have the transistors going to be of same type. If it is same type, I call it as a push-pull class A. Of course, transformer coupled. When push-pull comes into picture, transformer coupling is inevitable. Is default, it will be there in the circuit. We need not mention push-pull class A transformer coupled. We simply say push-pull class A power amplifier, because if push-pull comes into picture, obviously transformer is inevitable in that. We cannot really construct without a transformer. So therefore, we just designate a name as push-pull class A power amplifier. So this name how we give is also an important factor here for us. Well, so now I'm constructing the class A push-pull from class B push-pull. Only difference is that in class B push-pull, this R1, R2 won't be there. Directly, you're going to have a wire connected to the VCC. That's it. So here in this case, we are having extra resistors called R1, R2, known as biasing resistors of transistors T1 and transistor T2. Now, what happens in the case of class B push-pull power amplifier? For the positive half cycle, T1 transistor will be in the on condition. For the negative half cycle, T2 transistor will be in the on condition. So because of center tapping connection at the input transformer, we are going to have the inverted signals at the input of the two transistors. That means both of them are NPN transistors. So if at all NPN has to be in the on condition, the input voltage has to be positive. So therefore, when the input signal is going positive, here positive signal is applied to the T1 and negative signal is applied to the T2 because of center type connection. So T2 will be in the off condition, T1 will be in the on condition. Coming to push-pull also, same story remains. The only thing is that the transistor T1 will be in the on condition for the entire duration of the input cycle. So this is what the difference. That means the R1, R2 biasing should be such that even though there is a negative peak in the signal, the transistor T1 has to be in the on condition. That means here problem is that something like when the input is going in a positive direction, T1 is more forward biased. When the input is going in the negative cycle, T1 will be in the less forward biased. So less current flows to the transistor T1. So this is what the condition that we normally going to have it here. So when the input is going negative, when it comes to this side, it will be positive. And this transistor T2 will be definitely in the on condition. But less current will be flowing to T2. So that means the entire basic nomenclature of push-pull type is changed. So that means here, what is the condition that we have seen in the case of push-pull? When one transistor is on, the other has to be in the off condition completely. In the case of push-pull type. But whereas when you come to the push-pull type of class A, that particular definition is a little bit violating. Little bit current will be flowing through T2 as well. So that's the reason why we don't really prefer this, because this current which is unwanted current which will be flowing through the output terminals. But no problem, at the output side we are going to have a transformer. This transformer is going to cancel out the voltages, because the difference of the current which is coming at the output of the transformer is simply being transmitted to the loudspeaker by the secondary transformer, okay, of the output stage. So that is the reason why we can just simply going to have a push-pull type of configuration also, because of the cancelled version. That means distortion is normally going to get cancelled, and next thing is that this extra unwanted current which is flowing through T2 when T1 is in the on condition is going to get cancelled out over here, and the balanced output is simply going at the output stage. But still the efficiency is not as good as the class B push-pull type of the power amplifier. The efficiency is a little bit more than 50%, but not reaching to the efficiency of class B push-pull type, which is 78.5%. So that is what one of the case we can just discuss, a special case of class A we can discuss to achieve a more efficiency than 50%. So if at all people says that no, I want to use only class A power amplifier, and I want compulsorily the efficiency going to be more than 50% what I am getting in class A transformer coupled amplifier, then the only option left over is going to be like a push-pull type of class A power amplifier. So class A cannot be really used as a push-pull. The basic necessity of class A is to amplify the complete 360 degrees of the input signal. So that is what the basic name given because of the firing angle. So that is simply been violated a little bit if you go with the push-pull type of the power amplifier. Push-pull name itself is given, one has to be totally in the on condition, one has to be totally in the off condition. But in the case of this push-pull class A, T2 won't be totally in the off condition when T1 is totally in the on condition. So because of this violating push-pull rule, we simply should not designate the name completely as push-pull. Okay, little bit current will be flowing through T2 when T1 is in the on condition. So that's the problem that we normally going to face over here. Anyway, if at all we want more efficiency than class A transformer coupled amplifier, the only option in class A is going to be class A push-pull type of the power amplifier. Okay, so but it is not a legal version of class A legal version of push-pull amplifier. It is somewhat adjustable kind of a thing. So if you want something this way also, you can just able to do it. So the only advantage we're going to get is that the distortion can be less because of the difference of two currents will be transmitted the output, because the two transistors current is simply flowing. See, these two transistors current is flowing. How it is flowing now? Okay, so the difference of these two is normally being calculated. That is being transmitted here. Okay. So that is a problem here I am getting. IC1 minus IC2 is normally being transmitted to secondary of the transformer. Similarly, the polarity of the input voltage, the polarity of the voltage induced across the load will be reversed when the input is going negative half cycle. That means IC1 minus IC2, I can just have something like this. So that means sometimes IC1 will be negative, sometimes IC2 will be negative. So accordingly, the difference of these two will be transmitted at the secondary of the transformer. So now overall effect, how we can see the overall effect? See the things here. IC1 is coming for the complete input cycle. IC2 is also coming for the complete input cycle. Now the difference of these two is simply being transmitted of Y. The difference of these two is transmitted to the load. That means definitely we say that the peak-to-peak voltage is always going to be low. It is not going to be as high as we got in the case of the class B push-pull type of the power amplifier circuit. So we have to compulsorily compromise on the peak-to-peak voltage of the output signal. So if you compromise on peak-to-peak voltage of the output signal, if you compromise on the push-pull definition itself, if you compromise on the, you know, the what is that weight of the system, right? If you compromise on the cost of the system, then definitely you can just simply make a trial with the class A push-pull type of the power amplifier. It is not preferable in the practical industry, but still, if we want that, we can definitely go into achieve that. That is how we are achieving it over here for this case. So IC1 is positive, simultaneously IC2 would be negative, if you observe this carefully. Okay, right. If IC1 is going to be negative, IC2 is going to be positive. So like that, we're just going to have the differences here. So this way, we're normally going to get the class A push-pull type of power amplifier. Now, as I was talking to you, the advantages, disadvantages. What is an advantage? High AC output voltage is obtained in comparison to the class A type of the power amplifier. So simple class A power amplifier definitely going to be a little bit high. Output is free from even harmonics because the even harmonics are going to get cancelled because of the type of connection at the output. This is the advantage in the case of class B push-pull as well. So the effect of ripple voltages are balanced out. The ripple voltages are balanced out because of the center type connection at the output transformer. So these are present in the power supply due to the inadequate filtering effects. Some advantage we get by cancelling out the ripple voltage at the output. Now disadvantage, see the disadvantage. The transformers are to be identical to produce equal amplifications. Two amplifiers. See, this is the disadvantage in the case of class B push-pull as well. The two transistors should be identical. One more disadvantage of class B push-pull type. Push-pull type disadvantages, center tapping is required for the transformers. The transformers are bulky and costly. That is the disadvantage of class B push-pull. Okay, and the other disadvantage is going to be, it is going to be like, you know, violating the rule of push-pullness when you really want to design class A type using push-pull. So these are the drawbacks of the class AB power amplifier. Okay, thank you very much for today's session. We stop it here, our session. In today's session, we just simply do some problems on class A and class B type of the power amplifier circuits. Till then, thank you very much.